Tidal Thames. We're not going to Lighthouse. A lot of people go to Lighthouse, but that's right in the middle of London.
No, we don't. Well, that's not our cup of tea. Cup of tea.
Yeah, and there's a couple of navigations we have done through London, like Paddington and Leansthorpe.
We're not bothered about it, to be honest.
Yeah, we're not. There's too many downsides to do those navigations for. But anyway, yeah, we're going to do Tidal Thames to Brentford. Should take about 45 minutes, 4 miles. We've got a life check as long as it is tidal.
Yeah.
Last time with Wardies it was the wash.
Yeah, on the wash. Last time we wore these a year ago, Josh. Almost a year ago.
Yeah. But look at the microphone, a bit windy actually. Yeah. So it's not really that difficult to do. We're gonna have the tide going out with us, I believe. We're going on the ebb. I can't think straight at the moment.
I think last time it was a bit. You could miss the turn into Brentford, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It's quite.
Yeah.
Can't see it very good.
You've got to book Brentford 40 hours, and then we don't have to book Teddington. And say about 45 minutes after high tide at London Bridge or something. Yeah, we called up the lock and said, what's the best time? And we said 10 to 20. So we're down. And then we're onto the Grand Union. Okay, let's do it. This is the map of the UK Canal Network. Everything in red is what we've cruised before. Then we're headed down on the mighty River Thames. And today we've got a grand plan. We'll begin today's mammoth cruise at Teddington Lock, where we'll make our way down onto the first section of the Tidal Thames. Within about 45 to an hour, we should reach Brentford Lock. Now the entrance for this is very tight and it's easy to miss. We then make our way up through the Hanwell flight of 6 locks, onto a long section with no locks, past the Paddington Arm and past the Slough Arm, up to Uxbridge and then onto Harefield, where we will eventually moor up and hopefully be just outside the Ulez zone, making the cruise a whopping 20 miles and about 17 locks. Well, we expected to go into the second lock on the left hand side, but it looked like there were some divers out doing some sort of work on the locks. So we were in the bigger lock this time, and I think this lock is about 650 feet long, which makes it obviously the biggest on the Thames. I don't know what was going on top of this bridge. I've never seen so many ambulances, but it didn't look like an accident was going on there. This is Richmond Lock. When it's high tide, you don't need to use it. You go straight over the barrage. But it was put in 1894, so that upstream of this still had enough depth that boats could move. So once the tide is really low, it wouldn't go over the barrage, and there would be at least 5 foot 8 inches of depth above this lock when it's not high tide. You can only avoid Richmond Lock for 2 hours each side of the high tide, but out of that time you can still come through. You just have to use Richmond Lock, which costs £10 to use, and at its maximum can be up to 10 feet deep. This island here seemed to be like an egret and heron island. There was hundreds of them on there. We're coming up to the turning into Brentford and onto the Grand Union now, and I'll just show you this satellite imagery of how tight it is. Now it is like a 300-degree bend. You actually can't see it as you head down, and it's sort of blind. I imagine a lot of people have missed it, and there's no signs whatsoever. There's a couple of methods to do this. One is head downstream and then turn around and head back up, which is the backup idea we had, but take the corner as tight as we could because there's not going to be much silt because the tide is very high. So as long as we stuck tight to the corner, we should be able to turn with a lot of power on, and you just feel the current pushing against the boat as it tilts. It's not a very nice feeling, and it's very, very worrying and a bit nerve-wracking, to be honest, but with enough commitment you eventually do get round. But look how low the water level is. I'll take you guys back 3.5 years to April 2021 when we did the Tidal Thames last into Brentford, and as you can see the tide is a lot higher. This was a spring tide and it was extremely high. The boat in front of us actually caught the wires, as you can see, and yeah, we had a bit of trouble. We could just fly straight through this lock, but today we have to actually go in the lock and be lifted up a few feet onto the Grand Union Canal. And now we reach Bridge 204 of the Grand Union Canal, and this one can be actually very low on a spring tide because this section is still a bit tidal, semi-tidal. And today we had no problem with clearance, but as you can see by this old footage from April 2021, we had to wait about 45 minutes.
Here we go, the first of the normal wide beam locks of the Grand Union Canal. The first of many, and all the way until the last lock at Boston.
Brentford Lock tomorrow morning.
How are you?
Yeah.
Where you going?
Hanwell locks was pretty difficult on my own because there was very obviously a boat ahead of us. So what I do is open 2 paddles on one side of the lock and then go ahead and empty the next lock and open it ready for mine to go straight in. Because the pounds are so short, I'd have no time to walk ahead and get the lock ready for her. So it did take us a little bit longer in the end. At this point the lock was filled and I was still ahead of the next one, emptying it and getting it ready. So Mum decided to help out a bit and close the pad and open the lock gate.
God!
Monster car.
Did you get him?
This is the very famous Three Bridges, and it was designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel and was his last ever project in 1859 before he died. It's where the railway below, the canal and the road above pass each other at the exact same point. Oh, what a shame half their nest is made out of bloody plastic.
As it was going, the boat was going towards that boat.
Oh.
Looks like someone's dumped a bunch of number plates from stolen cars in a canal. Hundreds of them. Probably one of ours too. That was from Birmingham, so doubt it. I was very surprised to see at this last lock there was some volunteers, which was very nice to see.
Right, we've made it up the Hanwell and
Norwood, I think. Is that Norwood?
Norwood flight.
Yeah. It's a Norwood.
8 locks, I think. Well, we've done about 10 locks total.
Southall. Southall. This is Southall.
Southall right now. I haven't got any locks for a while.
Not over keen on this section, guys.
No.
The locks are they're wide and they're really deep. And they smell a bit.
But we met quite a few boats coming down. But unfortunately, there must have been a boat ahead of us, and there was. Because I asked the guy, the lock keeper on the last one, "Oh, has it been busy today? You're on your second boat. Oh, which way was the other boat going? Up." So yeah, it made my job a bit more difficult. But thankfully, it wasn't super hot like it was the last few days.
No.
It was getting hot enough as it was.
Yeah, it's
But
not too. Look, I've
quite hard work.
I had to put my jumper back on, haven't I, John?
Yeah, quite hard work compared to the Thames lock. So,
Yeah.
But we're off.
press the button.
But we're going to have some lunch now and make our way to the next lock, Which I don't know where is. Oh, that's a nice boat, isn't it? Look at the generator.
Yeah, it's had a fire.
You don't give a shit, do you, mate? You're covering up the tow bar. God, like Birmingham all over again. Ooh, that nice 3 Series. How? What is that?
As you can see, the canal is very clear and quite shallow actually. I'm surprised we didn't get grounded.
I was always thinking of more marketplace.
Speaking of the stolen car, looks like there's a nice Audi A4 convertible under there, but ours was red, of course.
Yeah.
And this is where the Paddington arm comes off and goes all the way down through London and joins to the River Lee and the Stort. And I feel like I dodged a bullet there. I can just imagine all the aggro and events and weird things that went on down there, and just a whole bunch of stress that I happily avoided. And from what I heard from Roger, because he went down there, yeah, it was not very fun for him and he hated it. He absolutely hated it, and Roger is quite an outgoing person, and obviously with my anxiety, I would hate it down there. Even though there's mooring bollards over there, it looks like they put in anti-mooring sort of fencing there. I don't know why. Probably because there's a bunch of freeloaders over there trying to get away with mooring permanently.
Hello, we made it over okay. We're on the Grand Union now.
Oh, thank God. It's okay, we're not going to hurt you. Turned it from a trad into a cruiser.
For 20 quid more, or do you want me to get...
It is quite handy along the Grand Union Canal because there is plenty of Tesco's along the canal for some reason, right next to it. But finding a mooring is another thing because there's one very bad thing about this section of canal. It is very clogged up with permanent moorers, and you won't be able to find a mooring. Well, you'll be hard pressed to. And that is the Slough Arm down there, which is about 5 or 6 miles long, and there's no locks on it, and it's fairly straight. But it's very weedy and lots of rubbish too. And although we probably would have had time to do it, but it would have taken an extra 2 or 3 hours to do, and probably worse if there was more weed too. But we don't know because we didn't go down there. And yeah, of course we haven't done it before, and we should have. And there's a silver propeller, but we already had a really long day as it is. So next time then.
It's a shame. They just put in that double glazing as well. So that's happened here, doesn't it? Kids are throwing a rock at those. Where I have to go. You're going to have to go up here then. So I'll do it then. They're weird ducks. Got white eyes.
Go faster.
Mum's getting a bit bored of this. You know.
We're going on tick over, guys.
For miles.
Like you do when you go past more boats, yeah. But there's quite a few more boats.
Just goes on and on and on, all the way down. This is what narrowboat babies look like. It's got one little soda panel on it. Jesus. You'd think it's a river.
If there was anywhere for us to stop and moor up, I would have tied this boat back on, but like I said before, there is practically nowhere to moor along this section. You see, everyone tries to moor here and moves around every 2 weeks so they can have cheap living near London. It is the cheapest way to live in London.
Yeah. Don't have to see that.
The last boat that passed us must have left the lock gates open, which actually helped us out a lot because there was 2 fishermen on the lock landing and there was a weir pushing the brunt of the boat out too. This is Denham Deep Lock, which is a whopping 11 feet 1 inches, which is the deepest lock on the Grand Union Canal. Thankfully, I have to say, it was on our side because a boat just came out. We're at last, finally, in some countryside now. Going through a lovely park with, I believe, old gravel pits. There's lakes all over the place here. But there's no parking anywhere near here. We're going to have to go about a mile or so further just so we can get to some parking. And I think it's going to be full up with boats because wherever there's parking along this canal, there is boats. Wow, this certainly wasn't here last time we were here. This is a gigantic viaduct for the HS2. But I believe there was 2 boats actually protesting here to stop it being built, but they do not appear to be here any longer. Well, this is where we plan to moor, just outside Harefield Marina, but it is absolutely full as a fish down here because there is parking up on the road and it is just outside the Ulez zone here too. But what I didn't realise is we decided to go a bit further and it actually goes back in the Ulez zone further up the canal for a little bit.
Didn't ring his bell. All that gear, he doesn't ring his bell.
We decided the moor just before Black Jack's Lock, and I thought it was outside the Ulez zone, but turns out it actually wasn't. It was just in the Ulez zone. But I went to check if there was even parking here, and there wasn't anyway, so we're gonna have to move on anyway. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Alright, bye bye.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.